Hello, if you don't hit the live button, I'm gonna spread rumors of you and Alex fucking. Okay.
Bro, we literally just started.
on?
We literally just started.
Bro,
We literally just started.
bro, what the fuck?
Literally.
Wait, you didn't say. You said you was about to press it. You didn't.
Exactly. You just said you were about to. You didn't say you started.
We started. Welcome everybody
Oh my god.
to the Delinquents Jail Cell Podcast. Thank you for coming to the Jail Cell Podcast. We'll see you next week. But no, and I'll say this as well. Welcome back to the Delinquent Jail Cell Podcast. I am Zach Transit, and with me is Nazir. We got David in the cut. We got Fred and Alex.
Dang, my knife is sharp. Like I'm running it along my skin, but it feels cutting.
What? What?
Ah. Oh
wrong.
no, I'm not. No, I'm not cutting myself. I'm not a teenage girl.
This is what I mean when I said off stream that we need a freaking bingo for this. Because I swear to God, bro.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying my knife is a little sharper than I.
Why?
Anyone got any topics for us to start off with?
I have a topic.
Shoot, but don't shoot
Platoon
me.
3.
Oh yeah.
I want to talk about the hype we have for this game.
Lead the
Okay.
way.
Oh, what happened?
Lead the way.
So yeah, if anyone has played the last Splatfest, it was Chaos versus Order, and if you've seen the results, it was Chaos that won.
And that
And-
was what, Pearl?
Yes.
That was Pearl.
Of course.
And Inkopolis is now a desolate wasteland, and now we have the new location, Splatsville. I'm not a big fan of the name. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Splatsville, no. Like
Splatsville.
before it was what? Inkopolis Square,
Yes.
Yeah,
and that's it.
I believe so. Was it the first Inkopolis and then Inkopolis Square? Or was it the same thing?
I think hold on. Let me check this out.
Is there a difference?
What's the difference?
Okay,
What's the difference?
Inkopolis.
Inkopolis Square. I see Square, and I also see
Oh,
Plaza.
okay. Plaza. Okay, I think the
Plaza,
first game was Plaza. The second game was Square.
But Inkopolis. Never mind. It was gonna be a very bad pun.
It's too late. You
So
have to say
I
it
stopped myself. I was gonna say that Inkopolis
You have to say
Square is square.
Then again, we have Times Square, and but it's not really a square.
No, it's not. It's like a Y, kind of.
Just why?
Like, on the streets, kind of. Like it splits into
Like a
two
banana
different
split?
streets. Yeah. But
You weren't
yeah.
with that, but okay. I guess.
Anyways, back to Splatoon 3.
Yeah, that land is called the Splatlands. Get it? Because wasteland Splatland.
Splatland. And it's called and the overall place is called Splatsville.
Splatsville. It's also referred to as the City of Chaos. I approve of that subname, by the way, City of Chaos.
Yeah, I'll splat in Splatoon. I'll splat Splatoon.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
What a very splatful event.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll splat all those little girls. I mean, not like
Yo, bro. Yo, no, I'm actually done. This stream. No, Fred. No, keep your damn contract. You're in charge.
Hold on. Not like that. I'm not EDP 445.
Yo, no cap. It's literally only been 5 fucking minutes. Nazir, you need to chill, bro. Yo,
That's what I said. I said not like EDP 445. You know, there's little boys there too. Wait a second.
Can we please talk about Splatoon before I lose my mind?
Goodbye.
Can we please talk about Splatoon before I lose my mind?
Wait, so when Alex left us, is that the equivalent of Alex leaving his kids?
So you know what
I'm
that
not-
means, Fred. You're in charge now.
I'm not.
Oh,
No, second Fred.
About that spoon.
Yeah, about that
Yeah.
Splatoon. Yeah.
we got some new weapons, new sub weapons. We got bow and arrows. We got inkazookas.
Yes, sir.
We got some. You know, we can actually spawn. Huh?
No, I like Inkzookas. You know, even more ways to splat. You know what I mean?
No, stop it! I'm gonna stop you right there.
You know what?
You see, you got to do it right before you shoot blanks.
I didn't even say nothing. Like, yo,
You know,
guys-
Fred,
was
I'm
another case
actually
I was afraid of.
disappointed in the fact that we didn't like record ourselves when we.
Yeah, because
that
we were
was
like,
beautiful.
Should we record ourselves? And like, nah, we shouldn't. After that, when that came up, we just lost our minds. So, just a heads up for anyone: expect any future recordings of live streams that happens, either Nintendo Directs or E3 stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, Splatoon 3.
Splatoon 3.
That
Isn't there
is-
like another feature like what's it called?
You can spawn anywhere on the map.
Yes. So no more spawn camping. No
I mean,
more
I'm pretty sure
bullying.
there's actually. You're right. Actually, oh fuck! I just realized.
you know what? That's a double-edged sword. No more spawn camping, but also you might get an increased chance of getting spawn killed, though. You know, double-edged sword.
Actually, yeah.
Okay, so just I want to ask, what do you want to come back from Splatoon 2 or 1? What do you want to see come back in Splatoon 3?
Marina.
Of course.
The community. No, I'm just kidding.
The community. That's gonna come back regardless. If I mean, I would say dualies, but I'm gonna already guess that Splatoon 3 has dualies. So
I'm happy that Splatter Shot is. Well, then that's the default weapon, but I'm happy it's there. I hope the Splashdown returns as a sub attack.
What
Special
about that?
attack.
What's the name of that ball? That hamster ball that you'd roll in, and then it would just explode.
I would check, but I don't have the Switch on me right now. My brother has it.
you know what should come back? The Kraken.
Oh
That should
yeah,
come
they
back.
completely got rid of that.
That was exactly. That was in Splatoon 1, and they just threw that in the garbage when they made Splatoon 3 2. So yeah, like the Kraken should come back. I don't see it as an overpowered weapon.
Yeah.
I mean, it has a timer. You know, it has like a lot of damage.
It's a lot of damage.
But they should definitely bring it back. You know, I thought
Yeah.
it was cool. And now
What
it's
about
gone.
what about the killer whale?
The what?
The killer whale. Remember that one thing you take out that just releases like a whole shock wave forward to like kill anyone in his path?
I actually don't
Remember
remember
that
that. That's the
Remember
one
that
thing
thing-
I don't remember.
Remember the thing Pearl used? Remember the thing Pearl used in the Octo expansion to destroy that giant
Oh,
statue?
it's that radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the killer whale.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that should
Oh,
definitely come
wait,
back.
they turned that into a freaking a gun type.
A special.
Yeah.
They turned that into a special. Have I used it? Yes. Have I hit anybody with it? No.
I think most people hit people. You remember that one ink bazooka before we had those missiles? You remember that giant missile that like would land?
Oh
Yeah.
no. Actually, no. I don't want that to come back. I think I'm
No,
fine
no,
with the.
because-
I'm fine with the multiple homing attack things.
Because could you imagine the combination of those tiny missiles and the giant missile?
No, you know what I'm tired of? I'm tired of people on the other team having that exact same special and then just doing all the specials at once. Like that's
Prepare
Ugh.
to fire.
Like,
I was playing Splatoon a few nights ago, and there's this one person on the other team who kept shooting their missiles at me.
Fire on my mark.
Like,
Missiles ready. Aim. Attack the
Fire.
tall. Attack the tall black one.
you know what? That's what they were thinking. As
You just gotta hit. You just gotta hit him where it hurts. You know.
yes.
like I tried doing a squid party, and then there's always that one person who just shoots me.
Because he don't know the vibes.
That's in every Splatoon game.
He don't know the vibes.
Wake up, get out there.
Yeah, Splatoon 3. That is a 2022 release. Picking that up day one, all of us.
Yep, 100%.
A lot of things are happening in 2022 that I'm really looking for. So let's go. Let's get 2021 over with.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, I do want those freaking Gilliks at Night Bus, so you know.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
That's for a separate podcast.
Yes, for a separate podcast. I'm just waiting. Although
So
it could be
anyone
soon.
else want? Yeah.
What else do we got? Trying to think of one. I think the last podcast.
The new what's it called? The new 8.6.
The new
8.6 BRZ.
new GR86. Okay, I could talk about that, but I would need I would have to show this. Unfortunately, I do not know how to. But they think they announced it or they revealed it. I think it was last month, or was it 2 months ago? They revealed the Subaru BRZ first, and then they revealed the Toyota GR86. It's not called the GT86. It's not called the 86. It's just called the GR86. With GR being like their high performance racing division, and also their sports car improvement thing. It's kind of like how Subaru has STI. It's kind of like how Mercedes has AMG, that kind of thing. But the BRZ and the GR86, they do not have any major changes from each other. They kind of look the same. I mean, that's to be expected, honestly. But I gotta see like specs and whatnot for the GR86, and I spelled specs with 2 E's. So guess who's dumb? It's me.
That's a shame. That's a real shame.
F in the chat. So yeah, the GR86. According to this article here, it says that the GR86 is set to have 232 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque, which I think that's a increase from the other 86, not the AE86, but you know the GT86 technically. I don't know if the Subaru BRZ has a turbocharger. It should. I think that both should actually have a turbocharger. I think the engine in the new GR86 and BRZ, I think they are still using a 2.4 liter flat 4 a flat 4 engine. So the sound could possibly be the same, or it could be different. That depends on you know, what modifications they added. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this in person. Probably on the streets. I do not know when they go on sale. I don't know when they start to be shipped to dealers. But I approve of it. Would I get it if I had the money? Probably. I mean, I want an 86 anyways, but I'll probably go for the GT86. If I wanted to, I could go with the A86 too, if that was an option. But but yeah. I don't think there was any word if the Subaru BRZ, the new one, is getting a TS version like the other BRZ. But I doubt it. I really doubt it. You 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 remember the BRZ STI, Alex, or the
Yes.
BRZ? Yeah, that whole thing. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that. And if they do, then they need to they need to do something with it. Put a turbo in it, or change something drastically. Like, sure, upgraded brakes, suspension, aerodynamics. That's all cool, but more power, please, and thank you. On the topic of Subaru, we still don't know what's to come for the new WRX and STI lineup. I heard around several rumors that it's going to be a hybrid, but we have to just wait and see. Which, if it is a hybrid, okay, it's not the end. Excuse me, it's not the end of the world. It's not going full electric. So if anything, it could kind of be like a probably like NSX kind of deal with the hybrid technology. But I suspect that the new STI, if it goes hybrid, the price might go up too. Hybrid technology and all that stuff. But we'll wait. Well, we have to wait and see. And yeah, that's it.
That's what I like to hear, Veggie Tales.
Okay, I'm not even gonna ask
Yeah,
what that
no.
means. I'm not gonna ask what that means, but I'm gonna pass the mic to someone else.
You want me to say a random thought I had?
Go ahead, say it.
Oh God.
I just want you to know that David made a horrible mistake and we're gonna get canceled. But I'm not saying anything explicit. Just because I know Alex, his balls will start to crunch up and he'll get scared. As soon as I start talking, right? So I'm not gonna say anything explicit. But I just had a thought,
Uh-huh.
I was thinking, why when women sleep with a lot of people, they're called hoes, but when men sleep with a lot of people, they get lauded as players, Like, why? What is that? Is it like a sexist thing? And then I started to think about it, and you know what? It dawned on me, right?
Well,
unless you're a piece of shit, right? You're having consensual sex, right?
uh-huh.
And how do you get consensual sex? A girl gotta give it up, right?
Uh-huh.
But that, you know what that means? That means that the girl got all the power. You know what I'm saying? So, in order for a guy to sleep with multiple women, that means he convinced a bunch of bitches, right, to take their clothes off and let him slide in those DMs. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Listen, he just has to slide his P in her V real quick.
Exactly. Like, you gotta think about it. Like, think about it mathematically, right?
Yup.
Mathematically, a guy had to be on his shit, right? For him to convince these girls to let him slide. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But
Yes, I
girls,
guess.
like I said, girls always got all the power, you know? like I said, unless the guy is a piece of shit, but that's like a variable I'm accounting for by purposefully excluding it, because that's a completely different situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I purposefully exclude that, right? Can't use that as a defense because that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about regular consensual sex. You know?
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
I dropped my phone. Ugh. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah.
So guys gotta be on their shit, you feel me? And girls, I'm not gonna hold you, right? It, it,
I'm
It's
scared
all-
of what I came back to.
it don't matter.
Don't worry about it. Just listen to the show.
To be honest, it don't matter what you look like, right?
Oh my god, come on! Come on! What?
Bro, did he just get Thanos snapped
What
out of
the,
existence?
what the hell just happened?
Bro, he got snapped.
He got Thanos.
Right?
He got Thanos snapped mid sentence.
But yeah, think about it. You could be a skinny bitch, a fat bitch, a tall bitch, or a short bitch. I will fuck the shit out of you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I came
Can
back
we-
in and
Yo,
goodbye.
Yo.
You always have to do it the hard way. You see.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, right? But with girls, they get to choose. They get to choose. You know what I'm saying? That's why for us it's a struggle. It's a campaign that we eventually go through and win or lose. You know, we're
Right.
we're mounting a war effort every time we talk to a girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But with girls, when it comes down to really is yes or no. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's why for us, for guys, it's a struggle. But for girls, it's a choice. That's the difference. That's the difference, right?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, a big part of it is if I gotta try so hard to get a bitch, right? How the fuck this other bitch letting every single fucking nigga smash, right? Except me, you know? How that happens? How I'm the only one? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Right? So at the end of the day, you got to think about this mathematically, right? That's why girls are seen as hoes.
Why?
What's the problem, Alex? What's the problem?
No, something fell. Something from
I
something
just
from
got
the
yeet.
windowsill fell over.
I
Alex,
just
you had a very important conversation.
yeah, I just got yeeted, but I have returned. Now, mind you, these are not my views, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because me, I'm a simple man. If you a hoe, you a hoe. If you a male hoe, interesting. If you a female hoe, you a female hoe. Let me get your number real quick. You know what I'm saying? Right? So, you know, I'm a simple man. If you a hoe, you a hoe. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? A hoe is a hoe. I am a former reformed hoe, to be correct, right?
Go on.
So I'm not biased. And like I said, these aren't my views. But what they are views. And I'm simply giving an explanation because at the end of the day, all these bitches can get it. You know what I'm saying? Like real quick, respectfully. All right.
That reminds me of a freaking thing.
Does anybody have
Listen up.
anybody else got anything they want to say? Game related.
No,
or not?
no.
Yeah,
Oh, well,
yeah. I got something game related to say, right? Can we get some new news on Final Fantasy? Please. Please. I don't ask for a lot. All I'm asking for is that sweet Final Fantasy goodness, right? Because the day Final Fantasy dropped, right, on myself, right? Because I don't value anybody higher than me, right? On myself, I will buy a PS5 that day, bro. No cap. Know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Speaking of Final Fantasy, I just read the fucking book, the Final Fantasy 15 book.
You have a book?
Yeah,
I believe it.
yeah. It. Okay, okay. So you want to know the story between Final Fantasy 15, the freaking Dawn of the Future book?
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody knows that there was planned to be a whole second season of DLC content, right? We were gonna get it. We were gonna get an episode Arden, an episode Aranea, an episode Lunafreya, and an episode Noctis, right? And this was going to be the revised true ending, right? Well, as you guys may not know, those DLCs got canned, and only episode Arden came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, because of this little kerfuffle, right? A lot of people don't know that the ending that you play through in Final Fantasy 15 is not the true ending, which, quite frankly, to me, is stupid.
Who was that that just unmuted?
Right? Which, okay, to me, the extraneous media should never supersede the game. Final Fantasy is a game series, right?
Mm-hmm.
So explain to me how the book ending is more canon than the game's ending. I don't care if it was supposed to be the game's ending. If it was supposed to be the correct ending to the game, well then make it the ending to the freaking game. You know what I'm saying? Like, how in the heck can the book's ending supersede the game? You know, it doesn't make sense,
At least
right?
have some consistency.
Word. Like, I understand that the prologue is the Kingsglaive movie. I actually like it. I don't know what people hate on all these all the CG Final Fantasy movies. Like, I don't know what's wrong with Kingsglaive. Taking it for what it is, like a short little prologue to the game, it's perfectly fine. I don't understand. Right? Of
Nazir?
course.
Yeah.
Nazir?
Holy shit.
Only
Yo, I gotta make that bingo. I gotta make that bingo.
what?
Okay,
What?
now you're
you guys,
good.
You guys, what? I'm sorry, you talking shit.
Because
You
you was
talking
cutting
shit.
out.
Bro.
Yeah, I walked away from my house. I'm no longer within a shot of my Wi-Fi, but my Wi-Fi was trying so desperately to hang on.
It was like, yo. It was like, no, not yet.
Right? So yeah. So people getting mad that Kingsglaive is nonsensical. Of course, it's nonsensical. It's not supposed to make sense without the game. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, like, for what it is, Kingsglaive to me was fan freaking tastic. You know?
Yeah.
Now, We like long run times in jail cell podcasts.
I could end this talk very quickly. However, right?
Right.
Right.
I'm going to very quickly recap some certain aspects of the main game. So when I talk about the new ending, it makes a little bit more there's less questions, right? So throughout the game, your main goal is basically marry Lunafreya, right? Because Noctis got that arranged wedding, and they've been sending letters back and forth to each other. Noctis is getting the good sloppy toppy when he gets to Luna, right? Right? But throughout the journey, Noctis is getting stronger and stronger, especially after he acquires the Armiger. Like a feat of Noctis, right? If we're doing power scaling, you gotta go by feats. One of the things he does before he's at his max strength potential, right, is block a punch from Titan. Now, I don't even have to explain who Titan is for you to understand that for his name to be Titan, he gotta be dummy strong.
Yeah.
Of course. You need to be that strong to have a name like that.
Yeah. Now, let me fix that, because people thought this nigga was a giant meteor, because he was in like the fetal position when he landed and made a crater in Eos. Eos is what they call Earth in Final Fantasy 15. Right? But he was so massive that he made a crater in Eos, right? Now that thing tried to punch Noctis, and Noctis blocked it, right?
Now, the reason this is important is because at this point in the story, right, Noctis isn't even strong. He's nowhere near the full power that he should be, right? But he actually manages to defeat Titan, right? And not only does he defeat Titan, he also freaking goes on to defeat Leviathan, right? Now, granted, he needed a quick little Zenkai boost, right? But still, he has defeated two essentially
gods, right? So you could tell he's probably pretty freaking strong, right?
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah, what do you think that says about his pops? You know what I'm saying? Like, his whole family is like that. Noctis isn't special until, like, close to the end game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, just remember how strong Noctis is. Also, almost at the end of the game, right? Oh crap! Let me speedrun this shit. Okay, so Luna dies. Ignis loses his eyesight, right? Freaking. They end up going on a thing, on a trip in their favorite rocket ship. I mean, on a train, right? They're going on a train, freaking. They're doing a bunch of shit, and then they find the fucking crystal, and it turns out that he gotta go inside the crystal to freaking absorb more power with and train for like 10 years until he can fight Arden again in 10 years, so he can be at least on Arden's level, right? Sounds decent enough, right?
Right.
So he essentially trained in the hyperbolic time chamber for 10 real years, right? How strong you think Noctis was when he got out?
Very strong.
Like, no, I'm not joking. Yeah, I'm not joking. The final boss is dead ass like a fucking Dragon Ball Z fight, right?
Damn.
Yeah, it's really cool, right? And then after Noctis kills Arden is immortal. Like, he's immortal. You know what I mean? Like, even if he dies, he could just come back to life, like he'll just respawn and shit, right? So Noctis has to go to the afterlife to use the Knights of the Round on him, right? The Knights of the Round being his ancestors, right?
And kill Arden in the afterlife. You know, kill his spirit so his spirit can't respawn and save the world from the eternal night that Arden has left in it. You know,
Yeah.
simple hood shit, right? Enter the book, right? Now, in the book, it explains something. Because, okay, first off, you get a history of episode Arden. It turns out that Arden was a good guy. His brother Samus was kind of a fucking dick, right? Who was like, you know what the solution to our problem is? If we kill everyone, right? Arden was like, no, I have a better solution. Let's save everyone. And what I'll do is I'll absorb all the Star Scourge into myself and become a monster. And Somnus was like, okay, you do that and I will immediately kill you, right? Arden is like, all right, I'm gonna do it for the greater good. And he's done this. And it's essentially he's like, okay, I'm gonna fulfill my destiny. Turns out it turns out he's in fucking mortal. Because, you know, he absorbed literal dark god energy, you know, on that big dick energy. You know what I'm saying? So he can't die. Right? Right? You know what I'm saying? No, right? So bada bing bada boom. So cut to the DLC, right? The DLC episode Aranea, because another character you meet during Final Fantasy 15 is Aranea, right? She's hot. Okay, this is really like, and she's a dragoon, right? That's all I can really say. She's hot and she's cool. You know, I wanted to see more of her. Turns out what she does during the story, right? What she does during the story, doing the little cool things. She does some very big things and befriends the princess of Niflheim, which is the people that currently fucked Insomnia and, you know, Noctis's country, you know? No, yeah, Niflheim in the Kingsglaive movie goes to Noctis's country. They're like open wide. Open wide. The sword needs its sheath. You know what I'm saying? Like, right? So, bada bing, bada boom, that happens. And then, Huacha, right? Freaking, whatchamacallit gets essentially taken over by Niflheim, right? But Aranea meets and befriends the princess. Now, this is important because Aranea is a mercenary who is currently being paid by Niflheim, right? However, she also befriended Noctis's party. This is important, right? So, boom, fast forward to after Lunafreya is dead, right? You know, big sad, you know what I'm saying, right? But what ends up happening is, in this timeline, Arden actually chooses to reject his destiny, right? It turns out that Bahamut's the big god, right? And okay, boom. This is why I was giving you that history on how strong Noctis is, right? Because his whole family is like this. They don't like Noctis is the strongest one ever, right? But his whole family is full of niggas with their dicks to the floor. You know what I'm saying? Right? Right? It's full of dudes that are dummy strong, right? So Bahamut is a god of this world. So, you know, time doesn't revolve the same way. So he can essentially see everything before it happens, but he can't predict everything what happens. You know? He he can see possible futures, but not the exact future that has laid out for him in front of him, right? So what he sees is he sees the entire Lucis Kylum bloodline being ridiculously OP, and what he wants to do is actually end life on Earth, right? It turns out that Bahamut's the one that wants everything like this, right? So he recruits Arden under the guise of basically he introduces the Star Scourge, right? And he instills Arden as like the big bad for the whole series, right? But Arden can choose to reject his calling, right? Because under the guise of doing a good act, if you actually make Arden, you know, not a goody two shoes in the episode Arden DLC, right? It will lead to this new branching path where Arden becomes way stronger because he's not trying to follow destiny and he's not suicidal. He actually becomes much stronger and does decide to take over, right? It's from there that Bahamut is like, oh, I fucked up. I fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right?
I messed up. I messed up.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So he literally brings back Luna Freya, right? Because he's like, nope, we can still do this. Because Noctis will be willing to die for Luna Freya, and and Luna Freya, I know she'll be smart enough to get stronger than Arden. So let's just bring back Luna Freya to life. Because like I said, in this universe, Bahamut's a god. Now, granted, there was no evidence of any of this in the main game. Bahamut was just like this really strong summon that occasionally lended aid to Noctis, because it was supposed to be the prophecy. You know what I mean? Like there's no evidence for none of this stuff in the regular game, right?
Uh-huh.
And freaking Bahamut being so afraid of Noctis's power that he orchestrates 114 generations of strife for this family is dumb, Like it's not nonsensical. Like it makes sense, especially when you see some of Noctis's feats, but it is dumb, you know? It makes sense, but it's stupid. You know what I mean? Now though, Now he brings Luna Freya back to life, which kind of diminishes Luna Freya's death. Like she died so Noctis could live and defeat Leviathan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But whatever, they just bring her back to life, I guess. Whoop de do, nothing matters, haha, right? But he brings her back to life, and then he gives her the Star Scourge, right?
Uh-huh.
However, I forgot exactly what happens, right? But Luna Freya actually finds out about Bahamut's plan, right? And she wants to work with Arden. Arden says, "Fuck, I'm evil in this timeline, you little bitch," right? But it sets the stage up for when he does eventually help her and Noctis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of all this mess, right? Instead of immediately going, like, after his 10-year slumber, instead of immediately going or immediately making his way back to Insomnia, right? He actually fights Somnus, the first Lucian king, the mystic, early instead of later, because you will always fight Somnus, but okay, in the book he fights Somnus, but in the game, before the last boss, you fight the Mystic, right? The Mystic King is the name given to the first king because his ascension to the throne, the creation of Insomnia is mystical. I guess I don't know, fucking jerking yourself off. I guess, right? But he's known as the Mystic. Now you always fight Somnus, right? But in this new timeline, Noctis fights Somnus in his regular human form, I believe, right? And Somnus is being, you know, just kill everything, I guess. If you kill all your enemies, you won't have enemies. And Noctis is like, if I kill all my enemies, then they can't turn into good guys later. And if you topple the head, the rest will follow. There's no need to do all that. I don't have to nuke the country. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Right? Because that's essentially their differing ideals. Noctis is like, solve the problem, leave everybody else alone.
Somnus is like, nuke the whole country. Just do it. You know, that's their differing ideologies, right? So Noctis and Somnus have a fight, but at this point in time, Noctis is. I'm gonna stop with the dick jokes. Like honestly, I've been trying to come up with something
I was
else.
wondering, like, how many times are you gonna make that type of joke until?
Yo, there's nothing else though. There's nothing else I can relate to. Like freaking, I don't want to just say Noctis is stronger than Somnus, so he wins. Like I want to say something funny, you know. But this story is longer than I thought I would be over by now, right? This was all just a ploy to extend the runtime of this video, but I'm running out of ideas to make it funny, right? So screw it. I'm just gonna go through it real quick. Just gonna finish it. All right. So Noctis is actually stronger than Somnus at this point. So Noctis actually wins the fight, right? And then he finds Luna, right? Because Luna and Arden have a little bit of a tussle, right? But Luna comes out on top, but then she decides to absorb a whole bunch of Star Scourge in order to make herself stronger, right? So she can fight Bahamut, right? But when they do, Bahamut takes over her mind because he's like, haha, you thought you played me, but it doesn't matter because I played you 4 moves ago, you know, like on some 4D chess type beat, right? So you know, Arden and Somnus have a little bit of a fight because Somnus is like, bro, it turns out that I didn't have a mind of my own. My differing motivations towards you was all because of somebody else. You know, it was never me. You know, it turns out that I'm a nice guy just like you and Noctis, and it turns out that we all have the same personality. You know, like, haha, that's not cool. You know, like this is the worst story. You know what I mean?
Hey man, that wasn't
like,
me. That wasn't
like,
me.
Like all the nuance all of the characters had retroactively gets reversed into being like generic good guys, but oh, my mind was taken over. Like, what is this, Final Fantasy 4? If anybody got that joke, you get extra points, I guess. I don't know. I'll give you a big kiss on the.
Whoa.
I will never want to get that now.
I'll give you a big kiss on my hand, and then I'll slap you in the face with it. I guess. All right. Yeah. Because I realized I played myself because most Final Fantasy fans are dudes and ew gay. You know what I mean?
Check that off the box too.
Yo, Nazir, that's still bad because you're kissing your hand and you're slapping with the hand that you kissed them.
I know, but I can't go back on my word. You know what I'm saying? Right? But yeah. So anyway, so Arden and Somnus make up, and it turns out that Arden just had a brother complex, I guess, because he's like, oh, my brother actually does respect me. I'm not hated by him. Yeah, Luna Noctis, let's team up now. Like, what the fuck? You know? Like, what? I'm sorry. I didn't know character writing and character motivations were so flimsy, right? But whatever. Anyway,
It is what it is, I guess.
yeah. So Arden actually makes the exact same sacrifice that Noctis makes at the end of the original game. In order to once they defeat Luna Freya, they don't actually kill her, but Arden goes to the afterlife to defeat the Star Scourge within her, and then Noctis is like, so Bahamut, you was afraid of what I would do to you if you enacted this plan while me or any of my other family members were still alive. Let me make good on that threat. You know what I'm saying?
I'm about to show you why.
Bruh.
I'm about to show you why I'm the hash singing slash.
He better show why he's the Dirty Dan.
Right? So Noctis defeats Bahamut. And yeah, Noctis and Luna get married, right? Aranea introduces the little princess to Noctis, and because the little girl likes Aranea and Aranea is cool with Noctis's group, through that they create a treaty where both countries are now at peace with each other instead of war, and everything ends happily ever after. This sucks on so many levels, thematically. Like literally, it's a good ending, you know. And I kind of wanted a good ending, right?
But
But in Oedipus Rex, when Oedipus goes out into the desert after what he's done, even though it wasn't his fault, like it's called the Oedipus complex when a boy lusts after his mother, right?
Mhm.
Because in Oedipus Rex he sleeps and has
Yep.
3 kids with his mother, right? No, that's incorrect. Sigmund Freud was weird, okay? Because not everything is about sex, okay? At least from my point of view, right? But this is not Nazir philosophy, and I'm not about to give a psychology class. I'm supposed to be the haha, funny, freaking, outrageous guy, right? I'm not about to be the smart guy here, right?
Uh-huh.
Freaking, I'm not plankton.
not in
I'm
this
not
video.
Yeah, I'm not plankton. I went to college. I'm not on that type beat right now. Okay, freaking right. But Sigmund Freud was weird, right? But in the actual Oedipus Rex story, because yes, I read plays, right?
Oh no, I read it too.
Oedipus Rex does all of that stuff. He kills his father and sleeps with his mother by accident. He doesn't know that because Oedipus isn't even from there. You
Yeah.
know, like heritagely, yes, he's from Thebes, right?
hmm
But that's not where he grew up because his father, in his infinite wisdom, instead of telling Oedipus when he was younger not to kill me and sleep with your mom, right? He decides, yeah, let's kill the baby. And one of the servants are like, and the servant he tells to kill the baby is like, I'm not killing this baby. So she sends the baby away to grow up somewhere else, right? So when he comes to Thebes, he accidentally kills his dad in a misunderstanding, right? And then he just becomes king because he defeated the Sphinx, right? So they crown him king. And guess what? Because he's king, he gets the former queen, right? Jocasta, which he doesn't know is his mom, you know?
Mhm.
And when he finds out, he's so distraught that he gouges out his eyes and goes to walk the desert. You know, like it's not something he wanted to do. It's not something he even wanted to find out, right?
Yeah.
But when you read that, you understand why what happened and why it ended how it did. You're not wondering, oh man, I wish Oedipus never did that, and I wish he was alive. I wish the whole ending was changed so where everybody had a happy life. And you know, like no, that is not the same
Sometimes that
story.
can't happen, man. As sad as
Exactly, because it's not the same story because like a lot of the time stories are meant to teach a lesson even subliminally, you know, like even if it's a bad story, at least you understand that there's a point to the story not to do what this character did, right?
hmm
Final Fantasy story,
sometimes
Final Fantasy,
tragedies are meant to be stayed as tragedies.
exactly, Final Fantasy 15's base story was about Noctis, who was not prepared, ready for, asked for anything he had to do, right? Mind you, was a Noctis. Yo, like imagine, younger than you are right now, Alex. Younger than you are right now, right?
Like how young? How much younger? Any
1 year,
specifics?
1 year, one
Okay.
year, right?
Okay.
No, your whole life, you know that you in particular are special because people around you tell you. But when you ask your father, he refuses to tell you anything, and the only person you ever get any answers from is your girlfriend, who even she won't tell you the big kicker because that's your father's job to tell you, but he's afraid to tell you. So the entire time you're confused and you've had to survive not one but 2 attempts on your life every time you leave to go outside, and you had to watch your father freaking take you and flee while your girlfriend and her brother and all of her people are getting slaughtered by this other army. Wouldn't that mess you up in the head,
I'd
right?
want to fight someone, bro. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'd want to fight someone.
Exactly. And you do get to fight someone, right? Because your father asked his friend to have his son come and teach you how to fight, right? But Gladiolus is so much ridiculously better at fighting that he beats you up every single day. And Gladiolus sees you as a spoiled child because you're angry at the world, right? For obvious reasons. You're angry all the time, but nobody freaking cares, you know?
That would make me
Nobody.
want to fight someone even more.
Exactly, but the only person that you are fighting is Gladiolus, and he's hitting you harder because he doesn't like your attitude, because he couldn't possibly understand an iota of what you're going through in your head, right?
That makes me want to. Well, that makes me want to fight him, and it would
Exactly.
get
That's
even more frustrating every time I lose.
exactly, right? But then something changes. Gladiolus' sister goes missing because nobody was paying attention to her. But you was. You find her, and then you take the blame for what she did and how she got lost, right? But Gladiolus peeps this, right?
Yeah.
And Gladiolus starts taking it easier on you and actually teaching you how to fight instead of just beating you up and telling you to figure it out. You
That's
know?
honestly not even teaching anyone how to fight.
Yeah, but now he's actually starting to teach you because he realizes that there's more to you than meets the eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So now, congratulations, you've made one friend. However, his job is still basically to beat you up, to teach you sword fighting, right? And he's way better at it than you will probably ever be, you know? So even if you guys are cool with each other now, you're still going to face constant loss, you know? So add that on top. Now you go to regular school. You're rich, right?
Mm-hmm.
But your father wants you to get to know the common folk. So you go to a regular school, but then you still get picked up by a limo and you still got to go to royal talks and everything, right?
What the? That's
What
That's ass backwards.
exactly? Wouldn't that give you like a little bit of a cognitive dissonance, you know?
Not only that, but that would give you away.
Exactly, right? So you're still doing that,
You're
but
trying to hide in plain sight. Do you not think that a limo would give you up even just a little bit? Not even just a little bit, at least in the most mild sense.
well, granted, it's in their country. You know, nobody ever tried to assassinate Noctis in his country. You know,
A limo though? You trying to hide in
not
plain you trying to hide in
yeah,
plain sight and you just go ahead and get a limo?
not just any limo, the fucking regalia, bro.
Proves
Right?
my point even further. How do you hide in plain sight trying to show that you're not trying to not show that you're a rich guy? Oh, let me get in a limo.
You don't. Everybody notices who Noctis is, and because of that, people are afraid to talk to him because he's the crown prince, right? But then you make one friend.
That's the
You make one.
stupidest thing I've ever heard.
You make one friend, but actually he's not your friend. Your father actually got one of his other friends to make his kid your servant, essentially, like your caretaker. Basically, you have a babysitter who's only 2 years older than you,
I'd
right?
hate I'd hate everything. I'd still be mad.
Right? But boom, boom, right? Then hold on. When you get to high school, you actually get a real friend, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Prompto. However, what you don't know is that Prompto's only your friend because Luna Freya told him to be. You know? Okay, so the way Prompto and Noctis met was Noctis was Noctis was one of the first people to not even comment about Prompto's weight because Prompto used to be really fat and that was a sore subject for him, right?
Yeah, as
But
it would be for anyone.
yeah, but Noctis honestly could not care about Prompto's weight and he actually helped him, right?
Uh-huh.
So Prompto wanted to help Noctis, and this dog was hurt, right? So Prompto returned the dog to Noctis because it was what you call it, Noctis being ridiculously in love with Luna writes this down, and then the dog comes to Prompto the next time around, because like I said, they were exchanging letters through the dog, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the dog actually hands a letter to Prompto saying, "Thank you for taking care of my dog, and could you be a friend to Noctis? He really needs one," right?
Mm-hmm.
So what Prompto does is he feels intimidated by Noctis because Noctis is the crown prince. Like you were saying, you know, Noctis was getting isolated because of who he was, but Prompto still didn't want to disappoint Lunafreya, so he actually started running and lost a lot of weight so he could be confident when he talked to Noctis the first time. And he looked completely different. People couldn't recognize Prompto, right?
Uh-huh.
But this is how much Noctis does not care about that type of stuff. Because when Prompto talked to Noctis for the first time in years in high school, Noctis still knew who he was, you know?
Yeah.
People that knew him personally couldn't recognize Prompto without the weight, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But Noctis, who talked to him one time, remembered. That's how that's that's how Noctis is tormented in his head because his identity is pulled 6 ways from Sunday, and he also got PTSD because people tried to kill him twice, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But deep down, he's a really nice kid, right?
Yeah.
Now imagine once again that you're Noctis and your father's health is failing, but when you're 20, he sends you basically on a quest, right? And then like 2 days after, he dies, and your whole country just got ransacked and destroyed by Niflheim. Your whole country, everybody you knew, except for your 4 friends and like a handful of others, are dead now,
Bad
or
taste
in,
in my mouth.
or enslaved, right?
I'd leave a bad taste in anyone's mouth.
Yeah, and then a couple days later, you find out that your destiny has to end with your death,
Nah.
right? And you know what Noctis does?
What?
He does it anyway, despite that. What the other characters don't understand, Noctis butts heads with Gladiolus a lot, right?
Uh-huh.
He butts heads with a lot of his friends aside from Prompto, because Prompto is the only one who has any idea what Noctis is going through, because he's a regular guy, right?
Yeah.
So he can imagine what it's like for somebody who grew up the same way he did, because Ignis didn't grow up this way. Gladiolus didn't grow up this way. Prompto did, right? Prompto can imagine if it was me, this would be ridiculous, you know?
The whole thing would be ridiculous.
Yeah, and Ignis, it takes him a while to understand too, and he's been with Noctis the longest, you know?
Uh-huh.
Freaking when Noctis got his own apartment when he was in high school, he moved out of his house because he couldn't stand being there in the palace and still living this weird way, you know, being being a prince but not quite, you know. Noctis couldn't stand it, right? So, you know, and Ignis was there the whole time, and even he has a hard time understanding it. But when King Regis dies, Gladiolus and Ignis to an extent look to Noctis as a king, and he's only 20. You know, he's not ready to be a king. He's only 20, and his father just died, and
Man,
he
not
lost
only
almost
has man's not even lived a life, man's is grieving right now. Like, this is the worst
exactly. And
time.
while I was playing Final Fantasy 15, the first time, I was getting really pissed at Gladiolus because Gladiolus is the most outspoken. And I'm like, bro, do you not understand what he's going through right now? But nobody ever does. And despite that, he rises to the occasion to be the hero that the world needs, not the one he wanted to be. He couldn't even be the person he wanted to be. His life was decided before he was born. And despite that, he nutted up right? He stepped to the plate and he did what had to be done. You know, that's a powerful message. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
This circles around to the book, which takes out all of that to give a
That was not
generic
supposed to
happy
happen.
ending. You know, nothing Noctis did carries any weight because there's no consequence, right? If Noctis doesn't nut up the way he did, right? If he doesn't summon the courage to be a martyr, right? Then the world ends. And this is not something he wanted to be. Mind you, right? When he actually does find out that he has to die, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is right after his fiance dies protecting him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Noctis is in an unimaginable pain right now, losing nearly everybody he loves, and nobody cares because Noctis has to be a hero, you know?
Yeah.
And like and he gets the courage and he does it. You know, that's amazing. You know? That's why a lot of people like the story of Final Fantasy 15 because Noctis does that. You know, Noctis becomes the hero the world needs. This new ending erases all of that. It erases Luna Freya's sacrifice because it brings her back to life, right? And
Uh-huh.
it erases Noctis's growth because if you take the book as fact, right?
Uh-huh.
That means that with Noctis saving the world the way he did, sacrificing, becoming the hero the world needed, he has actually doomed the world because now he is not there to protect the world from Bahamut.
What does that sound?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Wasn't on my. But you get what I'm saying? It actually it makes everything it makes the entire story a moot point basically because everything Noctis fights for ends up leading to the destruction of Earth, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because it turns out it was all part of Bahamut's plan in the book, and it would have been the DLC, which is why I'm kind of glad it's a book. You know, I'm glad it's a book because even though it's supposed to be the new canon ending, I'm going to ignore it. You know, because Noctis's happy ending was him in the afterlife being with Luna and sitting on his throne. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that was his happy ending. And I was okay with that. You know, of course, I wish that Noctis and Luna could live, but with what I got, I was happy with it. You know,
That was
this new
it ended. That was the best possible ending.
exactly this new ending is better physically, but emotionally it misses the mark because
Not
you
only
take
that, but it misses the mark in how much sense it makes.
exactly you see all of that pain Noctis had, all everything
For now.
Noctis had, and it meant nothing. It meant nothing. Noctis didn't have to go through that pain because that wasn't his destiny. You know, Regis didn't have to treat Noctis like an outsider to the throne so that he could make Noctis really care for the people so he could do what needed to be done. He didn't have to do that. Everybody didn't have to toe around the fact that they knew Noctis had to die, right? Making Noctis super confused because he's not gonna die. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It reminds me. It reminds me of my favorite Final Fantasy game, Final Fantasy X. Right
Mm-hmm.
in Final Fantasy X, before the ending but close to it, Titus finds out that he's not even real,
What?
and if he fights the main villain, he's going to die. You know, Alex, I said this to you a long time ago. If you forgot it then, you can forget it again. Okay?
No, I remember it. It just still doesn't make sense, and it will
Oh,
like it's perplexing about the fact that somebody can find out that they don't exist.
yeah.
And no matter
Okay.
how many times you say it, it's going to be equally as perplexing. Don't tell me that it's not.
Yeah. Okay. So some context for why I just said what I said. Alex is currently playing through Final Fantasy X again, I guess.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, so I just didn't want him to get mad at me for spoiling the ending because I've spoiled it for him before.
Yes, he has.
Okay. I didn't even know he was gonna play the game. As a matter of fact, I say I spoiled it, but Alex wasn't even mad because I'm pretty sure he wasn't gonna play it. All right.
Like that's when I didn't think of playing it.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know,
Like
but
at the
yeah,
time, I wasn't even thinking of it, and then I just thought, at some point, I thought, you know what, I'll just I think I think I want to play the Final Fantasy series. So
yeah. But Titus finds out that if he helps his friends, he's going to die. You know, Titus is aware of that, and he's okay with it because at least the world will be saved, right? And then Final Fantasy X-2 comes in and it's like, oh, we're just gonna bring Titus back to life. Like, okay, cool. But you know what? I'm more okay with that than with this because at least the emotion was still there. You know, they had no idea that there was gonna be a way to bring Titus back to life. You know?
it's like how all the Hokages were reanimated in Naruto.
Exactly. And the reason this is important, the reason why this changes everything is because the moment of truth. Now you may say that there is no difference since everybody gets their happy ending at the end of Final Fantasy X-2 and the end of Dawn of the Future, right? You might
Uh-huh.
say that this doesn't make anything, but that's wrong, and it comes down to the point of no return, which is where Titus will deal that final blow to Yu Yevon, which will destroy Yu Yevon, and it's in that final blow that Titus knows that he has sealed his fate. It's the same thing with Noctis. When Noctis sits on the throne and allows the Knights of the Round to kill him, he has made the choice. That is the moment of truth. Because you can always clam up, fold, and say, nah, screw this at the moment of truth, you know?
Uh-huh.
At least in Final Fantasy X, Titus still gets that moment of truth. But that moment of truth never happens to Noctis because you can just make the argument that Noctis would have never done it. You know what I mean? Like, we know Noctis would have done it, right?
But the
But the
story could
event.
have gone so many ways for him not to.
Exactly. Like, if you take the Dawn of the Future book as fact, there is a lot of evidence to suggest that Noctis would have said screw this and or had a mental breakdown before the end. You
Not
know?
only that, but had one of the people who tried to kill him in the past been successful, not I think it's obvious what would have happened uh due to the fact of what I just said.
Yeah, Noctis would have been done, right? But that's what I'm saying. Like, the book makes it so that the moment of truth doesn't happen, and you do not know if Noctis really nutted up or not. You know, you don't know if he nut up or shut up. You know,
Yeah.
if the book
Yeah.
ending is canon. You know, because the book ending supersedes the game. And in the game, we know what he would have done, right? But the book says that that didn't happen. So would he? Would he really have? You know what I'm saying?
When you have a contradiction in the original story, it is frustrating because you enjoyed the story so much, but what is it now? Something that doesn't make sense.
Exactly. I'm not saying Final Fantasy 15 was a perfect story. I'm not saying it was a perfect game. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. Okay? there was
But
a
at least
lot.
it was good.
Exactly. There is a lot of Final Fantasy 15 that I did not like. Okay? Like, oh, there is a reason it took me a year to finish it. Okay? When I play a Final Fantasy game, I will grind that shit until it's done. You know?
Bro, what?
I will put my life on pause to play a Final Fantasy game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 15 for me wasn't like that. A lot of it was boring, repetitive, sloggy. The world was empty. I could go on a list, okay? There's a lot of things I don't like about Final Fantasy 15. But the theme of standing up to be a hero, I love that. I love that in any media, okay? I don't even like My Hero Academia. Spoiler alert, right? But when Deku fought Muscular and when he
Bro, Nazir was telling me he really felt hard when that scene came on.
Exactly.
Friggin' Midoriya's fighting really hard, and then the kid's like, he's my hero, and like Nazir himself, he was like, that brought a tear to my eye.
Oh yeah, big time. Big time. Like
Especially with You Say Run playing in the background.
exactly. Like that was a big emotional moment cuz okay, real talk. Real talk. I'm throwing my whole character out the window, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that the way I act on stream isn't the real me. These guys know that. These
Yeah.
guys
Oh,
Yeah.
hell
these
yeah.
guys know it is. I act the exact same way, right?
There's no difference from Nazir on stream to Nazir in real life.
Right? But on some real stuff. When I was a kid, I always wanted to be a hero, and even now to this day, I still do. Right?
It's
I
like
st-
everybody's dream at some point.
exactly, exactly. Which is why I don't know. I have these dreams where I'm put in situations where I have to put myself on the line to save somebody else. And a lot of the times and a lot of the dreams I have, I don't even know who these people are. And I always do it. I never chicken out. You
Nazir
know?
is basically being a Midoriya.
I don't even know it's a dream. Like when I wake up, I'm panicking.
Mm-hmm.
Nazir.
Oh, there he goes.
Wow. Okay.
Just got back to my house. Internet's my Wi-Fi is like, "Oh, you back?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'm about to leave again." But yeah, at, in the moments of truth in these dreams, I always step up, right? And that conflicts with me, because in real life, I always am not sure I would, you know?
You're scared that you're gonna hesitate.
Yes,
In which it's normal because anybody would hesitate in a life-threatening moment. All right.
Yeah.
right? I'm always scared that I won't do it
Because
because
everybody's hesitant in that life-threatening situation.
yeah, like I'm always scared that I'll end up not being that person that I want to be, you know?
You're scared of being bark no bite.
Exactly. But this is proven untrue every single time because in my dreams, they be some of my greatest fears. and I will ignore it. Like me, I'm not the biggest fan of insects, right?
Oh, 100%. That was even on stream.
Right? And there was this dream I had. I'm not sure. I think I told you guys, but it was really Resident Evil 7 the mother inspired, because her whole thing is that she controls insects, right?
Yeah.
You mean that
Yeah.
vampire
And
lady?
I remember in the dream, when it came time to decide what I was going to do, I decided to let freaking swarms. I'm not talking about one. I'm talking about there was like
A locust,
100 bees.
like a whole horde of locusts or something.
Yes. I decided to run right there and let them get all over me to save some people. You know?
Yeah.
You guys have no idea how terrified I am of that in real life.
Yo,
You know?
you were afraid of a bug on an SRB2K stream at one point.
Yeah. You guys have no idea how afraid of that I was in the dream. You know? But at the moment of truth, I decide to do it. You know?
Fight or flight, and he fight.
Exactly. I'm always scared. Like that's a fear of mine, is that I won't be that guy. But my dreams say otherwise, but I'm hesitant to trust it because I haven't had that moment in real life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like when I'm dreaming, I don't know it's a dream. But when I wake up, I know it's a dream. And then I think to myself, did I only do it because it's a dream?
And that you know you're gonna wake up.
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna like I said, I don't know it's a dream, right? But I wonder, is the me in the dream different from the me in reality? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I hope it's not, because the guy in the dream actually.
Yeah, dying in your dreams could actually kill you in real life. Like, what's it called? Friggin' up to some point, Nightmare on Elm Street is based off of something, based off of something that happened a long time ago. Like, there was, I forget what country and I forget the place it was, but what's it called? A lot of people were having nightmares, and as they died in their nightmares, they died in real life. Like they were having heart attacks as they were dying in the dream,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
and that's what Nightmare on Elm Street is based off of.
Yeah.
So even based off of the argument that Nazir is saying, getting himself killed in a dream could kill him in real life if it's like that
If it
huge.
if it shocks you enough that your heart stops, you could still die. You know?
Like if you're deadly scared of something, then you're gonna have a heart attack while you're in a nightmare.
Exactly. And I am scared of insects. You know, not all insects, obviously, right? But the ones that could hurt me, I'm scared of them. You know, because they fly really fast. You know, at the end of the day, it's like, oh, who's gonna win, Average Joe or the fucking Flash? All right, you know. But yeah, so, but that's the moment. That's the critical moment. That's what I'm scared of in my life, is folding at the critical moment, right?
Mhm.
That's why I like to see that in media. At the critical moment, they don't fold. You know, there is no evidence to suggest that Noctis doesn't fold at the end in this new ending. You know,
Yeah.
which disappoints me. That's all I'm trying to say. You know, like I'm glad it's a book, and I'm going to ignore it. I'm not gonna lie. if they try to make like a Final Fantasy 15 2 that's based off of the story of the book, because the book was supposed to be the game but wasn't, I don't care. To me, the story ended the original way because it meant more to me. You know what I mean?
Just
Yeah.
like how Nazir and I would prefer, just like how Nazir and I would prefer Dragon Ball GT to be the actual ending instead of Super.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm done on my little tirade.
All right.
So yeah, this is still the Jail Cell podcast. So Alex, it's your turn. Everybody else talked about something. Your turn.
All right, um, so I recently got my copy of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World in the mail from Limited Run Games, and so did Fred.
I'm still waiting on mine because it didn't come.
Um,
It's in Valley Stream. It's here. It's here. It's just not on my door.
and what's it called? Needless to say, as you could tell from Nazir's reaction, it took quite a while because what's it called? Not only did it take a long time for Limited Run Games to what's it called? Um to process how many people pre-ordered the game, but like it took a while for them to like make the copies themselves and then like make it took them a while to make everything because like at the end of the day, let's be honest, there's a lot of people that ordered Scott Pilgrim vs. the World from Limited Run Games, pre-ordered it, and all the other Scott Pilgrim stuff because there was a few extras. So it is understandable why that took a while. But the thing is that it's like the wait is really tedious. It's like there will be moments where you get very impatient. You're just like, give me the damn game right now. Come on. And then there's times where you forget it. And Nazir and I were talking about this at one point, but like when it comes to very waiting a very long time for an order, there's quite a few different reactions that you could have. There's reaction number one, you could forget about it, and then you get it in the mail, and then you're just like, and then you get hyped all over again, like as hyped as you were when you ordered it. And then there's like the you order it, you get it in the mail, and then it's like like you don't feel any type of way about it. You was like, oh, I ordered that. All right then. Like it just turns you off. It turns people off sometimes with with deliveries that you have to wait a long time for. So either way, I needless to say, Scott Pilgrim was one of those orders that you would get rehyped for because it comes with um a how they have those fake little tickets that are in-game themed. So with said purchase, you would get a ticket to a clash at Demon Head, and you will get a trading card. You will get one trading card. That is, unless you ordered the whole trading card set. And what's it called? I ordered the entire trading card set as well as a hoodie, but they didn't come on the same day. As a matter of fact, I don't think they fully processed the hoodie and the trading card set. Either way, I'm just glad that I got the game. Fred and I have are playing it quite a bit, and he has leveled his Ramona up completely. Like he boosted, Nazir, he boosted all her stats up to 100.
Yeah, saw that, yo. I was talking to him about that. Wait, weren't you there when I got on him about that?
Yeah, but I thought you were talking about like leveled her up max to 16.
No, leveling someone up to 16 ain't that hard.
It just takes a long time.
Yeah. No, what's absolutely fucking bonkers is that all of her stats are 100, yo.
And he still has like a lot of money too. He has like what, $500? Did you say?
Yeah, 500.
He leveled up all her stats, and he still got like $500.
Like, bro, what do you need? What are you gonna do with that money? You're gonna buy.
I have no.
And let me tell you,
Yeah.
Dude's gonna buy Eternal One Ups or some other shit. Like, I don't know what the fuck. Like, what, yo, what?
like yo, let me
Yeah,
tell you, it
yeah,
takes
no, I
a
saw that.
lot of damn money to get someone's stats up to every single stat up to 100 because what's it called? You go it's in the first level where you go to Wallace's shop. It's when you go into the tunnel. You go into Wallace's shop, and there are video game references there, and they are a lot of money. You have Speedy the Hedgehog, obviously you know what that is, and
Yeah,
picking
you
the
need to.
name, you know what that does.
Yeah, I think you need Speedy the Hedgehog like 3 times to get max speed, but that costs a small fortune.
It's the other stuff.
And then there's other stuff too, you know?
Like you have, I can't name all the video game references off the top of my head, but
Oh, I was talking about Final Fantasy. One is called the Never Ending Fantasy.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Never Ending Fantasy. There's
One
a
is a
couple
one is a Mario one, I forgot, and I think the other one was the Legend of Zelda one.
the legend. It's Legend of something, but yeah, those video game references boost up your stats, and they cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fred still has like 500. What the? Like when Fred really, uh, when Fred says like, yeah, I think I'm gonna do this by this day. Man's does it in the most impossible, uh, anime character plot armor type way.
Yo, word.
Like,
I remember telling Chris, like, this is back like when before Monster Hunter Rise would even release. He said there's going to be a lot of grinding in the game, and I said I don't really mind grinding in video games.
he really
Yeah,
does it because he does it so easily.
Yeah, this is proof. This is proof, yo. Like,
This is proof. This man bought up his character. This man bought up Ramona Flowers. All of Ramona Flowers' stats up to 100% in the shortest amount of time. The only way I could compare it is how somebody wins a fight in Fairy Tale.
okay. For reference, right? When we did the Scott Pilgrim game walkthrough on this channel, our stats were in the single digits. Okay.
Yeah. That's why.
Yeah.
We didn't even what's it called?
These two didn't even know
forgot
about
about
stats.
in the game. Like I completely forgot about this, but you could do combo taunt moves and it would take care of everyone. Forgot this was a thing, and when Fred and I started doing it in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, I was like, we didn't do this in our run through of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell? This would have been so much easier if we did this on stream, especially with the Katsuyanagi twins. Like, honestly. We needed that, especially when we were going up against the twins. We really needed, as a matter of fact, we really needed it when we were fighting the twins themselves. Because of all those people freaking getting on the freaking stage, we could have used that.
You could have also used during the giant Gideon battle.
That too. And I'm realizing this, and I'm kind of I was kind of getting pissed off. I'm not gonna lie to you, because all of the hardships we had, all the times where we got so angry, could have been resolved by doing literally one damn thing.
God, I
And I'm
hate
like,
look.
why did we not think of this when we were doing this? When we were doing the run through?
Yes.
Yo, I'm sorry to sidetrack, but you ever notice how gay super soakers are?
I think that's a sign.
Like, no, think about it. I know you're like, oh, what is he on now? But no, indulge me for a second. Indulge me. Listen. Especially with guys, you are squirting on another guy.
All right, so we've been streaming for about 1 hour 37. I think it's time that we wrap this up.
Most of the weapons in Splatoon are super soakers when you think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's not.
Never mind. I
Let's
was gonna
not.
say something, but never mind.
I mean, it's true. Most of the
No,
weapons are super soakers.
We shall talk about this no more.
Like, have you ever seen
Bro.
Splatter Shot?
Yeah, but when I say squirting on them, oh, everybody had a problem, right?
Remember the last Splatfest when they actually had white ink?
White. Yes. Oh,
I mean,
you
I
thought
wasn't
was-
there, but you know.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
Yeah, but it's white. And white makes right. Am I right, guys?
I was
Fine.
only ignoring that. I was only in like 20% of most of the freaking Splatfest. The other time I just watched.
I was in like three Splatfests.
I bet you were in 3 splats.
Okay.
Hey, he said it, not me.
He's gone. Okay. So
Scared him away.
should we end this stream? It's been
Well,
1 hour.
should we end it with Alex here?
Yeah, Alex should come back first.
Yeah,
Give him 10 seconds.
yeah, somebody call him. Somebody drag him by his legs and give him a good beating. Everything sounds gay. What the heck?
I'm seriously gonna make a freaking Zack and Angle bingo because this is
Make it the super bingo. Add extra spaces.
instead of free space, it's we got canceled.
The canceled space. Free cancel. There we go.
Free canceled space. There he is. Okay,
There it is.
now we can end the stream. Okay.
I'd like to express how much Nazir is garbage.
So, if you enjoyed this Jail Cell podcast, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you are new. Be sure to check us out on our Instagram at Zach and Night Eagle, Zach_and_Night Eagle. Be sure to check us out on our Discord, which is in the link below. The new
If
link.
you would like any, I'm sorry. Continue.
No, it's fine. You wanna freaking cut me off? No, that's cool now.
I mean,
That's cool now. That's cool, bro. You know, I respect that. I respect that.
You don't.
I respect that.
No,
I
you
respect
don't.
that.
Kalal,
Hold
finish
on.
the fucking sentence.
Wait,
I
hold
respect
on,
that
hold on,
because
hold on.
I don't. Piece of fucking
Wait, hold
garbage.
on. Guys. Give me 2 seconds.
1, 2.
And if you enjoyed this video,
Oh,
be sure to
Oh,
comment, like, subscribe, join us on our Discord.
We just do one plug. Check out ShadowBraze Gaming.
Yes. Link is also in the description below as
Uh-huh.
well. Check them out too. And yeah, we'll see you again in the next jail cell.
Spare change.
Because
Spare change.
sour kush.
Spare change. I'm more poor than Squidward tentacles.
I'm gonna get out of here.
All right, peace, y'all.